today. From SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, it's Week 10 of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Justin Herbert and the LA Chargers taking on Derek Carr and the Las Vegas Raiders.
From the future home of Super Bowl 56, there's a look at SoFi Stadium just south of downtown Los Angeles. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we take a look at this Charger club entering play here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit. The shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. The Raiders set to go to work behind their veteran quarterback, and that's Derek Carr.
And one of the things that I think that Derek Carr has really improved in doing since college, his ability to stay in the pocket, things swirling around him, find the right guy, and deliver the ball with accuracy. Derek Carr has great touch when he throws the football.
Now the man from Kentucky, this is Lynn Bowden. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. They run with Bowden. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for a Las Vegas first down. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course. Carr will try it again on 2nd down. He gets this one complete to Bowden. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there.
And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. Offensively lucky there, able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Ross on the return. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Here are the Chargers ready to go on offense, led by their first-round pick in 2020, the man out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting But the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on. We know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork.
And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Here's Herbert. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Well, this throw caught left side. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. That's going to set him back 5 yards. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Carr. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Carr to throw again. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the 1st. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. And, you know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
The Chargers get set to go here for their 2nd drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive.
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's Eckler. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Complete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down. From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Carr.
That's complete to Lynn Bowden.
That catch good for only a couple. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field. How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Got a man open, it's Darren Waller. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play. And that's going to lead them to 4th down. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Vegas. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field.
More from L.A. in a moment. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10.
At their own 24.
He'll hand off here to Eckler.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
2nd and 2. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert.
Got Gordon open, completes it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Now they go screen, it's complete. There's some space here.
And he's going to have this down deep into Vegas territory.
That one good for 37 yards. Not really any offense for them to speak of here in this first half. Maybe that's what they needed, that big play.
Yeah, and it seems that maybe everything changes right there. They've been a little slow out of the gate. We've seen that. But that one big play, that could spark a big burst right here.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Able to get this to Gordon.
And the Chargers are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
12 more yards there and another 1st down. They'll run here with Edwards. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22.
It's the former number 4 overall pick, Clelin Ferrell, that got in there to bring him down.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Third and goal now, mere inches from pay dirt.
Out of the gun, Herbert. He'll get this to Eckler. Still going. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On 4th down, Anthony Lynn says, let's go for 3. And his kick here is good. And the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So
maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession.
So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Austin Eckler and the Charger offense reclaim center stage.
We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. He'll get that complete to the tight end, Harris. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack.
Maxx Crosby make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
The Chargers on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 17.
Operating from the gun, Herbert. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
Corey Littleton, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10.
Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession.
And I never played quarterback, but I'm thinking as a quarterback, you're a little bit into the game now. Second quarter, you're losing. You're not playing well. Probably feels like a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Certainly does, but it's something that quarterbacks have to be used to because they're always carrying around that weight. So how do they adjust the weight? How do they make it work for them? How do they work against it? That's what we're going to find out going forward.
Yeah, he'll be trying to get all that weight off his shoulders here on this drive. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
From midfield, here's Carr. Got his man, that's Tyrell Williams. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Here's Jacobs from the gun.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
The Raiders on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on 3rd and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's Melvin Ingram on the tackle.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now a carry for Jacobs. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Now they'll throw with Carr. That's going to be caught by Williams for a Raiders touchdown. Tyrell Williams, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders have taken the lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Now the try here for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And this carries into the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The attention shifts back to Justin Herbert and the Chargers offense. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him better.
They do. They've got to make sure that they give him more than enough time in order to find targets downfield. And sometimes what happens when these things are going on is that the field general will step up and say, hey, that's on me, guys. I didn't get rid of it fast enough. Anything to try and relax them a little bit and take some pressure out, because they do know they are trying.
Yeah, well, we've seen the 4 sacks so far in this contest. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first. And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. The sideline and talk over what to do next. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Time again to see Josh Jacobs and this Vegas offense operate.
He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
Well, now he's looking just to add to his totals.
A hat tip to P.J. Williams there defensively, making sure that one didn't find its target.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
He'll let this go deep for Ruggs.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the gun, Carr. Waller taking it in over the middle. And the Raiders are going to have a first and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown.
Josh Jacobs,
his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead.
CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment and you have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better, and I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Sly on for the extra point.
This one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. The drive there only spanning 3 plays.
And it was capped off by a touchdown run from Josh Jacobs. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And this will make it into the end zone.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Austin Eckler and the Charger offense reclaim center stage.
He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here.
And that's into the hands of Eckler.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. And the Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Open man is Ross, complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Hunter Henry brings it in. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In our game has been the play of Derek Carr. that's led the way. His guys lead it on the road. So let's get you back to L.A., where I'll hand things back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway.
And we will not see a return to start the half, as this will be a touchback.
Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter.
They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. But it'll be second down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Got a man open. It's Ross. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Once more, here's Eckler. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, LA! Austin Eckler, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers have made this a 1-score game.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
No real hesitation from Anthony Lynn. They're going to go for 2. Operating from the gun. Herbert, and he's brought down. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away.
Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half.
Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10.
Here's Carr. Looking sideline, incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Carr defers to Jacobs on the draw. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down.
He'll let this go deep for Ruggs.
He's got it at the 15. And he'll be taken down deep into Charger territory. Pretty good play by both the thrower and the catcher there, Charles. 3rd down, showed a lot of trust in his receiver.
And what I liked about the play was his receiver's understanding that everything wasn't on time back in the pocket. Rhythm was off a little bit. He adjusted as well and gave them a chance to complete that play.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Running is Jacobs. And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, Carr. This will be caught at about the 5.
And the Raiders are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Operating from the gun. Carr. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
How about that stand defensively? The sticks were moving against them. 1st down after 1st down was being piled up. They had driven all the way down the field, and then they ran into a wall on 3rd and goal. Nice job regrouping. Very impressive.
And no hesitation about this decision here. Confidently, they're going to go for this. 4th and goal from the 3.
They go with Jacobs.
And he'll wind up being knocked back to the 3-yard line. They stop him on 4th and goal at the 3. And the Chargers hold tight down near the goal line. And you wonder, Charles, could that decision come back to haunt them later?
And it really could, because in this situation, you kick the field goal in a tight game like this, that's a good play. But maybe what he's saying to himself is, I'm just not a big proponent of the old idea that any possession that ends in a kick, I'm happy with. He wanted to be really aggressive.
A little twist here in the 3rd quarter. And this is going to double their room to maneuver, able to get it from the 5 to the 10-yard line. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Open man is Gordon, complete.
And he is going to have the Chargers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
Herbert. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
He was brought down by Carl Nassib. A gain of 1. Brings up 3rd down.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And this complete to Henry over the middle.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for L.A. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Dorsett on the return. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid.
22 yards there, a 1st down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. They will run the draw with Jacobs, and he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Well, that 2nd down completion, something of a disaster, and now they're left with 3rd and long. Carr. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
There's another example what defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. So he needed 1. He ended up getting 3.
And I really like the way he ran that one, too. That's really intelligent running because oftentimes a running back could get too greedy. Try and hit the home run on a play where you just need a few yards. Well done there, making sure you got the first down and not worrying about trying to get a touchdown.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. Here's Carr to throw.
They'll run the screen with Bowden.
And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And his kick is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
From the gun, Holden looking for Allen. He's got him on the slant. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter.
Back now at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood.
It's Charger football, but they trail here as we get going in quarter number 4. On 2nd down, here's Herbert. Harris has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Operating from the gun. Herbert, he dumps it to Eckler underneath. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a 1st.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 45-yard line. Herbert throwing again. Allen's got it over the middle. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
The throw to the middle taken in. And he'll go down at the 28. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Herbert back to the air. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. To throw again. Herbert. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. To the air again. Herbert. Fires one, but incomplete. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They snap it to Herbert. And it's incomplete. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Raider D, they get the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive. And he will find his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Joey Bosa in on the stop. On 2nd and 9, Carr. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Carr. He'll get this underneath to Jacobs. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down. First down would have been nice, but now you get to kick the field goal, still go up 2 scores.
They tried to get it, though, didn't they? Threw the pass, got the completion just short of the first down, but you're exactly right. Run the field goal unit out there, kick it, put it through the post, go up 2 scores.
Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. Now here's Ross. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. L.A. readies for its next possession. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Herbert. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. The Chargers on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 4. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Here's Matt Hawk now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And now running right through it. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They run it with Jacobs.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
Carr now on first down.
He'll let this go deep for Ruggs.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
So much about defending the pass is being able to be right there at the moment the ball gets to the receiver, and he was right in his hip pocket, helping force that incompletion.
Back to the air on second down. It's Carr. And he's taken down. Back in his own 7. Uchenna Nwosu. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Left side, it's Dorsett. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to fourth down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Max Crosby has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Here's Herbert. On the screen, this is Eckler. Third down just got a lot tougher. That will officially go as a loss of 7. Now, that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Hard throw, incomplete.
For him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
Well, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James. From the 35 on second down.
Carr will find Williams on the slant.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. And they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. Working from the gun, it's Carr. They'll check this one down to Bowden, complete. And he is going to have the Raiders' first down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Jacobs now. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. Once again, it's Jacobs. And a short gain here down to the 22. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll try and get it with Geis. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Carr. And able to find Dorsett. And the Raiders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. Carr down to a knee, and that ought to just about do it. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here, when they're taking a knee, is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathed a sigh of relief. Finally got a win. Needed one desperately.
So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for Las Vegas, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Chargers, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills.